The following show is for adults only and contains bad language that may offend some people. This week, New Zealand and China forged a closer economic relationship. And why not? They are two cultures that go exceptionally well together. New Zealand, China. Ni hao, bro. Ni hao. Friday, 21st of March, 2014. I'm your host, Jeremy Corbett. And leading Team 1, a man similar to Cyclone Lucy. He's full of wind, he turns up late, not quite as impressive when he gets here. It's Paul Ego.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you. On Team 1 tonight, he's had 2 wins in his life. He got the Billy T Award and he left Palmerston North. Nick Gibb, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you here. And down the end there, one of our favourites, his DVD, The Shit List, is in all good shops now and in some of the shit shops as well. It's Chopper, ladies and gentlemen. Chopper!
The leader of Team 2 hated St Patrick's Day on Monday, mainly because he's Welsh and they don't have a cool day. The closest they get is St David's Day, where you can wear a leek. It's Di Henwood.
We have a great team on Team 2 next to me. She's fresh back from smashing the Melbourne Comedy Festival, tastier than biltong. Ursula Carlson! And every team's got the guy who gets into the spa with no togs on. And our one is the very bubbly and very funny Brendan Lovegrove!
All right, our first game tonight is What's the Story? I've spent the week scouring the news, putting together some video footage from which the teams must now deduce a current affairs story. Team 1.
Yes, Jeremy.
You're first up. Here you go.
Okie dokie.
Oh, this is the worst game of hide and seek ever.
Oh, now I'm swimming.
Yeah, basically God just hates a fun Saturday night.
The B-side of Royals was called God Hates Fags, I think. So
Yeah,
I reckon they just want to hear a good tune.
Yeah, this is some of Lord's biggest fans requesting some of her lesser-known hits, which are some of the more controversial.
Not quite, no. Lord has asked fans to wear rainbow clothing at an upcoming show in Kansas after discovering the rather homophobic extremist Westboro Baptist Church planned to protest outside her concert. What is it with Kiwi bands offending religions? Because we've got, like, Lord has offended the Baptists, She Had offended the Muslims, and we're just lucky the band Fiddle with the Altar Boy changed their name to the Feelers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's going to be one person who writes the sign, God hates Lord, and then their head explodes.
It was funny, I was having a chat to God last night, and I was like, well, do you hate Lord and fags and stuff? And he was like, no, Lord's done very well considering how far I made her eyes apart.
She looks a bit like a 1930s vampire who's also having a fit. Like
She looks like she looks like she's entered a dancing competition where the prize is the antidote.
All I'd like to say to these Westboro people, right, is that hot dogs fit into buns pretty well, right?
Yes.
So why would God make a bum that fitted a dick?
In fact, it's got to the point now where the Westboro Baptist Church signs, you just do the opposite of that for a good life, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing this morning? Getting drunk, getting a bum full, you know.
The first New Zealand artist to be picketed by the Westboro Baptist Church. I mean, Feet Kimbra didn't have this problem, did she?
No.
Because they wrote a parody song as well. They actually wrote a parody song of Royals with all, like, really hateful lyrics.
That's the anti-Semitic one. That's like, we'll never be Moyles.
Was the Jewish version of Roars, was it like, and everybody's like Schindler, Hitler, riding on the train?
Team 2, what is the story here, please?
OK, so we'll play a quick game of Kill, Fuck, Marry.
Oh, who the fuck are you calling aggressive?
Wow.
Memories, not a sound on the pavement. Yeah, OK, so we've got... So there was some grouping of strange characters at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very aggressive, punchy cameraman.
Yeah.
And 2 cats eyeing the neighbourhood.
It's about a middle-aged woman.
The Jeremy, big, massive news this week. A middle-aged woman has more than 2 cats, causing a ruckus, making a guy want to punch the cameraman.
Yeah, tensions are mounting in an Invercargill neighbourhood after a defiant resident refused to comply with a city council bylaw to remove most of her 37 cats. I just feel sorry for this woman, you know, come dinner time, calling them all in, you know. Here Puss, here Mittens, Whiskers, Simba, Black Simba, Ginger Simba, Tabby Simba, Fluffy, George, used to be Fluffy, not that Fluffy, dying, still alive, but only got a week left, Puss in Boots. I got 37 of these, I can keep going. Tabby, shaved, Mr McCavity, Elsa, cat, Catty Cat, Kitty, Kitty Cat, Cat, Catty Kit, Kit, Binky, Ray Paul, Raspy Tongue, Twin Tails, Boo Boo, Mike McRoberts, Gordon Avenger, Dusty, Scarface, Chainsaw, Lobotomy, Crowbar and Steve.
Is there an upside to having 37 cats?
Yeah, the chance to own 37 hats. Ba-doom!
But you'd think how buff you'd be, because cats have a raspy tongue and they love a good licking. Like, you'd wake up from a nap and you'd just be buffed smooth.
Have you ever had a crap and there's been like one cat looking at you, been going like, oh, fuck it. But imagine 37 cats looking at you trying to have a crap, just go, fuck off.
Do you reckon this woman ever gets them to stand all on each other and sort of in the shape of a husband?
Imagine seeing her singles ad in the newspaper. Woman with 37 cats seeks companion in fluff-filled shit nest.
Good round of What's the Story, Team 1. You can have the amount that Neil Trotter won in the Euro Millions lottery last weekend, €108 million.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And apparently immediately rang his ex-wife, who was on honeymoon with her new bloke, and went, timing. Team 2, you can have the number of phone books delivered around the country each year, 2.7 million. It's not enough. Team 1 wins.
Yes.
It is now time for Yes Minister on 7 Days. This is the game where we fire questions at politicians, press conference style, until they crack by saying the word yes or no. Tonight we have Labour's spokesperson for housing and Auckland issues. Please welcome the Labour MP for Te Autatu, Phil Twyford. Good. Phil, sit yourself down. You understand the concept of the game. Don't say yes or no.
I do.
You do. You started already. And did I get it right? Te Autatu? It's not T, is it?
We normally think of it as Te Attitude.
Oh.
Attitude.
So strange.
That's like saying, Saint hell yes.
Or Avondale. Ow, just got stabbed. Phil Twyfront. Now, your middle name is Stoner, is that correct?
Well, I did grow up in the 1970s and I inhaled once or twice.
So you fit in Te Autatu well then?
I fit in very nicely.
Is your middle name Stoner?
My middle name is Stoner. It's my mother's maiden name.
Does it not make you think maybe you're with the wrong party?
I like to think it wins me votes in West Auckland.
Did you actually think it was better to incriminate yourself as a former drug user than to say yes or no on...
Phil, are you likely to be in Cabinet or are you happy sticking with Labour?
I reject the premise of that question.
OK, Phil, I did a bit of research into you. None of that creepy out the front with a thermos and a deck chair stuff. But apparently you like to knock on doors and go to people's houses and have a chat to them and stuff. What's the smelliest house you've been in? Have you ever been in a house with 37 cats?
I grew up in a house like that, actually.
With how many cats did you have?
Too many.
Oh,
What
you'd be
happened?
the only Labor guy that's got a lot of pussy.
Have you ever considered just taking a walk over to... Oh, her name has completely escaped me.
Just Helen?
No, the one that looks like me.
Oh, Paula Bennett.
Have you ever considered just taking a march over to Paula Bennett's office and just wrestling her a bit?
Wrestle Paula Bennett?
Yeah.
No.
That's right, Phil. Thank you very much for coming on 7 Days, buddy. Cheers. Thanks very much. Catch you later. Very close run game. I'm going to give it to Team 2. Well done. We're going to take a little bit of a break here on 7 Days. We'll be back with Drunk News. See you then.
Yeah.
Welcome back to 7 Days. I like what you've done with your hair. It's time now for Drunk News, and this is where we ask drunk people to be our reporter, give us their interpretation from a news story this week. Our teams then have to guess which story they are talking about. Team 1.
Shit.
You're up first. Crossing to our live reporter. Hello, good morning, good evening.
Cheers, Jeremy. We'll take it from here, mate. Love the bleached hair. Looks great.
So this guy shows up in Ashburton Court.
It's probably worse in Hamilton.
Drink driving. You know I'm only fucking surviving.
If we had a spaceship, it'd be so handy.
To get to the next fucking party that's happening and slapping in.
What's the point in these people driving these spaceships?
Back to you, Jeremy Corbett.
This has been drunk news.
This has been drunk news.
And I'm going home with this guy.
And I'm going home with this guy.
Oh, that is a man who seized the opportunity.
Jeremy, if I'm not mistaken, that was Jesse Mulligan's wedding. Yeah, so this is... Yeah, Chris Pine has reached a career highlight and been caught in Ashburton.
Yeah, well done. An Ashburton District Court judge disqualified Star Trek actor Chris Pine from holding a licence for 6 months after he pleaded guilty on Tuesday to drink driving. Chris Pine said his biggest fear was being held in Ashburton jail, where his cellmate may want to go boldly where no man has gone before.
I think the best bit would be the start of the Star Trek episode where it's like, Captain's log, Stardate, shoot, fry, kebab, let's go, hey! Yeah, you look at that Klingon cunt. I'm fucking... Oh, cloaking device.
Yeah. He'd be fully, hey, Scotty, Jim beam me up, bro. So apparently the judge's first question was, so how are you enjoying New Zealand so far? Like during the cyclone, there were just, when Cyclone Lucy came, there were just heaps of reporters yelling at the sky, you enjoying the country so far? Are you liking it? You really enjoying New Zealand? Cool, cool.
And then apparently his lawyer was trying to get him a discharge without conviction. But if you just, I don't like that saying, like discharge without conviction. It sounds like a half-hearted wank. Yeah, there you go, whatever.
Team 2, what story is our drunk reporter talking about here?
Thanks, Jeremy. Here we are on the streets of Auckland talking about the squatting that's happening in
Christchurch, the fucking earthquake hurts.
This is so disrespectful.
I'd just like to say that camping is a lot of fun.
Some people do it in their undies.
People need to rethink their morals.
Back to you, Jeremy, in the studio. Kia ora.
Oh, Jeremy, this makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. Christchurch, who've had an earthquake, also have a series of German people who are camping in the red zone but in unused houses, and they're using things that aren't meant to be toilets as toilets. They're being German all over the shop.
Yeah, quite right, Team 2, disgusting, isn't it? Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority reported this week that German tourists set up a tent inside an abandoned red zone house and had used a bedroom as a toilet. Jesus. Yeah, possibly the most controversial German camp of... Oh, no, hang on.
Well, but at least Christchurch is getting tourists again.
But just whatever you do, don't Google Germans pooing in the red zone. It comes out very...
Now, I'm not a rocket surgeon, right? No. But I'll tell you this. Surely, why don't you use the toilet as the toilet?
Yeah, it's disgusting, you know, but they shed in a house that no one's supposed to use, that they're going to bulldoze. So if you have the choice to shit in a bush or shit on a carpeted area, I'd shit on a carpeted area.
This is my thing, like, how stereotypically German do you want to be? Like, break the stereotype. The only way it could be more of a German stereotype is if bloody Anne Frank was hiding in the attic.
Good round of drunk news. Team Randy, you have the number of texts a disgruntled online trader is sending to the man who let him down. He's doing the entire works of Shakespeare in text. It's 29,000 texts. I reckon it'll take about a week. And Team 2, you can have the price of the most expensive socks in the world, made from Serval, which comes from New Zealand, Red Deer. It's $1,600 a pair. Team 1 wins. Our next round is Answers, where I present a word on the screen to our panellists. They have to guess what question they would have to ask to get that word as an answer. Team 1, here's your first answer. What's the question, please? French car.
Is it, what's like a regular car but with tongues?
Oh, is it where do you find sat-nav that says fund it yourself?
Is it what? Is
If you cannot be bothered to learn French, I'm not going to tell you.
What? Big is an Eiffel Tower, you found it was your eyeballs, fuckweed.
What goes like this when you start it? Voila! And it's off.
And when you honk the horn, it goes meh. What has a baguette holder? Where does the R on the gear knob stand for? Retreat. Oh, when you put the petrol nozzle in, what goes ooh la la?
The real question there, this week Paris banned every second watt from their roads. This was on Monday to reduce air pollution. Half the private cars and motorbikes and almost all trucks were banned from the roads of Paris and its inner suburbs. They cancelled the scheme on Tuesday. So, French gave up on this after one day, much like World War II.
I think they just get the mayor of Paris on TV. They get the mayor of Paris on TV to go, a red wine with fish, and then the whole of Paris at once goes, and it just inhales all the smog.
That's a great idea.
So this was designed to fix the smog?
Yes.
Because I thought smug was the problem in France.
I've seen the desolation of smog, and it's going to take more than odd-numbered cars because he looks pretty intense.
The French are all really very good at carpooling, though. I mean, all of Cirque du Soleil travel in that one tiny car.
Team two, your turn now. Here's your first answer from the last 7 days. What's the question? 3 teams.
What's the minimum number of players for soggy biscuit? Or, depending on where you're from in New Zealand, dank crusket.
Oh, dank crusket. No, no more. We don't need any more.
It's depressing to know...
As we call it in Devonport, humid biscotti. Who's up again with humid biscotti? It's lost its crunch and we know why.
What's the first number that Dutch people can't pronounce properly? 11, 12, 13, 14...
Is it Jeremy Corbett auditioned at least what before meeting his wife?
Is it One Direction is a couple of overdoses away from being what?
Is it as you walk past them, what sounds like this?
The real question there, James Cameron's hemp plantation was broken into by who? 3 teens jumped a fence into Hollywood mogul James Cameron's Wairarapa hemp plantation, took selfies and stole some of the crop. The judge sentenced the youths to 20 hours community service or 2 of his movies. Good round of answers. Team 1 have the age of Stormy Lee Whitford, young birthday girl whose present, which was an iPod, was stolen by the monkeys at Auckland Zoo this week.
Another massive news story.
Another massive news story. She was just 10 years old. Team 2 can have Labour's rating in the latest Herald Digipol, 29, which means Team 2 wins. Well done. We'll be back soon with more 7 days. Stick around. See you soon. You're looking good. Time now for Caption That, the game where our teams have to capture photos from the last 7 days. Team 1, what is this caption?
Is it, Sharon, do you ever get the idea we're being followed?
Is it Sharon denies that she's an overprotective mother?
Is it Prince George stolen in Huntley?
Is it, I know we're supposed to clear the minefield, but let's just let this young family do it for us.
Is it woman has narrowed down the baby daddy to some army guy?
Is it, bing, you have 5 new followers?
Enemy raises its head and 3 generations get blown to death in the crossfire. It's a sadder one.
That is women walk with a child in a pram while Russian servicemen follow them in the Ukraine. All right, Team 2, you're up, and here's your first picture. What's the caption?
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, this photo quacks me up. This isn't Trevor Mallard goes for a swim, is it?
Is it? Oh, yeah, who'll be laughing when I'm eating all the wet bread I can get from a lake?
Is it, duck with massive black bum births human face?
Is it? No, your hat's supposed to have a peak, not a beak, you fuckhead.
That's not what it is. No, it's this one. Yes, you can.
Is it the early days of Kelly Tarleton's were quite disappointing?
That is a man with a plastic duck on his head swims for charity during St Patrick's Day celebrations in Belfast. Team 2, your turn now. What is the caption for this photo?
Wife yelling, "Are you sure you read the assembly instructions right?"
Is it they turned the house upside down but they can't find the keys?
Is it? Oh, that's ruined the feng shui. Is it, from the makers of Sharknado comes Houselanche?
When the old man had a stroke and the balloons popped, the movie Up became quite depressing.
Is it the real faces of Monopoly tantrums and the tiny lives they ruin?
The real question there, labourers work on the upside-down house tourist attraction in China. Good round of capture that. Team 1, you can have the age of a moss revived by scientists after it was discovered under the ice in Antarctica. 1,600 years old. Back to life. Which is good. And Team 2, you can have the amount of the anonymous Koha payment made by Te Kohangareo. That was $50,000. Means you get a bigger score, but the overall winner for the night is Team 1. That is it for 7 days. Thanks to our studio audience here in Ponsonby, Auckland, your good selves for watching at home. And, of course, our panellists, Paul, Nick, Chopper, Di, Ursula and Brendan. See you in 7 days on 7 Days. Good night.
Thanks, New Zealand on there. We got there. Not like Malaysia on there.